The creation myth begins with God creating the heavens and the earth. On the second day, God also created the angels, including archangels and cherubim, who would inhabit the heavens. Among these magnificent beings were Gabriel and Michael, renowned angels. However, there was one entity that stood out due to his beauty and splendor: Lucifer. He was the most important creature God had ever created, but his pride led to arrogance, vanity, and haughtiness. Pride, one of the 7 deadly sins, consumed Lucifer, leading him to believe he could create his own throne above God's and be like God. Lucifer deceived a third of the angels in heaven to join him in his rebellion against God. This caused a battle in heaven, with Lucifer transforming into a mighty dragon. Archangel Michael, who commanded God's heavenly militia, led the loyal angels against Lucifer and his fallen angels. Despite Lucifer's might, Michael, with God by his side, defeated him. As a consequence, Lucifer and his fallen angels were banished from heaven and fell to earth, where they were trapped in hell. Lucifer, once the most beautiful angel, was transformed into the heinous Satan. In hell, Satan sought revenge against his creator and targeted humanity, God's greatest creation. Disguised as a serpent, Satan entered the Garden of Eden and deceived Eve into tasting the forbidden fruit. Through his deceitful words, Satan instigated the original sin, leading to Adam and Eve's expulsion from paradise. From that point on, Satan dedicated himself to alienating humanity from God, leading them into sin and preventing them from reaching paradise. It is important to note an ancient Jewish myth that challenges the notion of Eve being the first woman. According to this myth, there was another woman named Lilith, who was created from clay, just like Adam. Unlike Eve, Lilith did not submit to Adam's authority, as she believed herself equal to him. This rebellion led to a choice for Lilith to submit to Adam or leave the Garden of Eden. Choosing her independence, Lilith left Adam and the garden, settling near the Red Sea. God sent angels to convince Lilith to return, but she refused. Seeing Adam's loneliness, God created a new woman for him, Eve. Due to her rejection of God's authority, Lilith was demonized and considered a woman-shaped demon. In her demonic form, she had the power to cause disease in newborn children. To protect children from Lilith's influence, amulets with the names of the angels who tried to bring her back to Eden were given to them. The story of Lilith is well known but is not present in the Christian Bible, and it is rejected by both Catholics and Protestants. The myth of Lilith exists in various mythologies, including Hebrew, Babylonian, Sumerian, and Assyrian. Lilith was seen as an evil deity or a goddess associated with the moon, embodying different phases and moods. The absence of Lilith's story in the Bible may have been a result of discussions during the formation of the biblical canon. Lilith's independent and strong nature goes against patriarchal structures, making her an embraced figure in feminist movements. She is often regarded as the first feminist, unfairly demonized like many women in history who challenged the patriarchy. Whether seen as a demonic figure or a symbol of will and struggle, Lilith's story continues to be a subject of interest. The Bible prophesies that a malevolent figure, known as the Antichrist, will emerge during the end times. This individual, who is the son of Satan, will oppose Jesus Christ upon his return to the world. Similar to Christ, the Antichrist will be born of a woman and possess both human and demonic qualities. He will blend in among men, concealing his true origin and intentions. Initially, it will be challenging to identify the Antichrist, as he will not display any signs of his evil nature or ultimate goal of undermining God's work. The Antichrist's strength will increase as belief in the forces of Satan diminishes among men. Exploiting this lack of faith, he will use his growing influence to convince people that the kingdom of God and heaven do not exist. By denying the existence of these spiritual realms, he will persuade those lacking genuine faith in the Creator that hell is also non-existent. Consequently, mankind will become susceptible to the temptations of the devil, no longer fearing the consequences of hell. As the final judgment approaches, the Antichrist will gain more power and influence. He will rise as a prominent public figure, captivating the masses with his words and leading countless souls to join the ranks of Satan. The Antichrist will assert the right to absolute freedom, capitalizing on his denial of heaven, hell, and the concepts of good and evil. This will give way to a world where anything is permissible, undermining the values preached in the Bible and labeling them as dogmas of a corrupt church. The Antichrist will possess remarkable qualities, excelling as an intellectual genius with exceptional oratory skills. His political acumen will make him an unprecedented politician. Under his leadership, a new religion will emerge, denying Jesus as the Messiah. Instead, the Antichrist will proclaim himself as the true and sole Messiah. He will wield power over all nations, establishing a global religion. Some believe that the influence of the devil will even reach the throne of St. Peter in Rome, with the Antichrist using the church itself to undermine true faith. Disguised as lambs, these wolves will distort the words of the Lord to keep men away from God. The Antichrist will employ tricks and false miracles to deceive and take the place that rightfully belongs to Christ. People will be marked with the number 666, representing the son of perdition's ultimate power. At the height of his dominion, when many have already succumbed to his will, Jesus will return to save the souls who have not yielded to Satan's temptation. This will mark the beginning of the end times. Throughout history, the label of Antichrist has been attributed to various figures such as Nero, Napoleon, Hitler, and even Martin Luther, one of the leaders of the Protestant Reformation who vehemently criticized the Catholic Church and accused the Pope of working against Christ. Some followers of Protestant doctrines still believe that the Antichrist will emerge in the form of a future Pope, one of St. Peter's successors. However, according to tradition, the true Antichrist will arise from an unexpected place, and his true identity will be revealed too late for humanity to prevent his influence. In the Old Testament, there is mention of a colossal sea creature called Leviathan. Described in the book of Job, this immense monster is one of God's creations. Leviathan, a fearsome marine dragon, evokes terror in those who catch sight of it. No man possesses the courage to awaken such a creature, as defeating it would be an illusory endeavor. God describes Leviathan as an enormous creature endowed with incredible power. Its movements create massive waves, and its mouth is filled with formidable teeth. Its back is covered with tightly knit shields, forming an impenetrable armor. Leviathan's chest is as hard as the most resistant stone, and even the most powerful weapons are futile against it. The creature possesses a powerful blow that emits flashes of light, with fire in its mouth and smoke in its nostrils. Leviathan's power is unmatched on Earth. However, it is important to note that the existence of Leviathan, like every creature, is a result of God's desire. The creature's sustenance is only possible through the grace of God. Leviathan serves as inspiration in the philosophical work of Thomas Hobbes, who named his influential book Leviathan. Hobbes used this biblical monster to illustrate his argument that in the absence of laws, humans tend to engage in a state of anarchy, leading to conflict and chaos. To alleviate this situation, Hobbes proposed a social pact where individuals relinquish part of their sovereignty, granting absolute power to a governing body known as the state. In Hobbes' view, the state, comparable to the colossal biblical creature, Leviathan, maintains authority over individuals due to its power and ability to enforce order. Satan, the most powerful demon in Judeo-Christian culture, is often associated with the figure of Lucifer. Once a heavenly being, Lucifer rebelled against God due to his pride and incited other angels to join his cause. However, their rebellion was quelled by the archangel Michael and the divine militia, resulting in their expulsion from heaven. Lucifer, now identified as Satan, assumed the personification of all evil. In the Bible, Satan takes the form of a serpent and deceives Eve into eating the forbidden fruit, leading to the expulsion of mankind from paradise. Satan's encounters with humans are notable, particularly with the virtuous man Job and Jesus during his time in the desert. Satan, the accuser, challenges Job's faith by betting with God that Job's loyalty is based solely on his blessings. Job endures immense suffering, yet remains steadfast in his faith, refuting Satan's expectation of him cursing God. In Jesus' case, Satan tempts him with food, the spectacle of angels saving him from harm, and the offer of worldly power. However, Jesus resists all of Satan's temptations, choosing to worship God alone. Satan's presence extends beyond Christianity. In Islam, he is known as Iblis, an evil jinn who emerged from the fire. Satan's mission is to divert mankind from the path of Allah, and those who follow Satan's footsteps will face the punishment of hell. Regardless of the religious tradition, Satan represents the force that leads humanity astray from goodness and justice. Hell is depicted as a place of immense suffering and torment. While sinners are commonly associated with hell, some Christian traditions believe that it is not exclusively reserved for their souls. According to these beliefs, hell is also inhabited by sinister creatures known as demons. These demons, often associated with the 7 princes of hell, share in the misery and punishment of those condemned to eternal suffering. In conclusion, the Bible prophesies the emergence of the Antichrist, a sinister figure opposing Jesus Christ during the end times. This Antichrist, the son of Satan, will deceive humanity, deny the existence of God's kingdom, and establish a world religion. Leviathan, a colossal sea creature mentioned in the Old Testament, symbolizes power and impregnability. Satan, the adversary, plays a significant role in both Judeo-Christian and Islamic traditions, tempting humans and leading them astray from the path of righteousness. Hell, a place of suffering, is believed to be inhabited by both sinners and demons. These elements of biblical and religious narratives contribute to the understanding of eschatological events and the eternal struggle between good and evil.